Hello and welcome to the Strategic Bookkeeper podcast. In today's episode, we are going to talk about if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. This is a subject that has been raised more and more in the digital world as information becomes more plenty, and advice is coming thick and fast. And there is a bit of a saying, why is advice free? Because it's worthless, which is not always true. Some advice is awesome. Tons of stuff my grandma told me was free and it was awesome. But ultimately, as entrepreneurs, it has been proven that if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. And I've got to say, I've seen tons of evidence for it. So in this podcast episode, I'm going to expand a little bit, but I've also got a really cool surprise for you. Something I'm really excited about, something I hope that I can explain and do justice to. So how about we jump into the episode and get cracking so I can tell you all about it. I'm Jeannie Savage, the Strategic Bookkeeper. I've been in practice for 14 years, but more importantly, 5 years in, I achieved a lifestyle practice. This means I scaled my business, could take my hands off the wheel, and draw a nice six-figure income while being time rich. And that's what I call my dream on my terms. I was recently awarded Women in Finance Innovator of the Year, recognizing my book, my podcast, my program, and my impact globally. The Strategic Bookkeeper is my life's work, and the opportunity to help bookkeepers globally achieve the income and lifestyle that sets them free absolutely fills my cup. Please do connect with me on socials at the Strategic Bookkeepers Way private Facebook group, or shoot me an email, hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global. Okay, my friends, let's get into it. So if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. So in a minute, I'm going to tell you about the surprise I've got for you. So please stay tuned. Right now, I just want to expand just a tiny bit. I'm going to keep this podcast short and impactful. But if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. So do you believe me on that? Yeah. Are you thinking, I don't know about that? So in order to help you with that, I actually want you to think about when you give away help in your bookkeeping practice for free. You know, when it happens, or when you're a friend asks for advice and you give them some advice around business, or you've got a prospective client or a networking buddy that wants some help with something, or the quick query and all the other parts of your business where you find yourself often giving things away for free, because it happens to a lot of bookkeepers. Okay, doesn't happen to me so much anymore in my bookkeeping practice. I can tell you there are other areas of my life I absolutely do it. But I've got my bookkeeping practice to a point where I've been able to stop doing that, right? But when you do that in your practice, have you noticed that when your clients don't pay, they pay attention? Now, conversely, when you get to a point where you are charging appropriately, and actually the more you charge, the more attention they pay. And I remember I had a business coach a million years ago. I think it was about 10 years ago or more. And he actually, I think at the time, he was costing me about $200 an hour. And he said that his business coach was $1,000 an hour. And he said, Jeannie, for $1,000 an hour, how hard do you think that I'm listening? And it really stayed with me. And you know those things that just stay with you? And I wasn't sure why it stayed with me, like so many things I hear. And something says to me, Jeannie, that's a pearl. Keep it. Hold on to it and just keep it, because you're going to use that for the rest of your life. And that was one of those things, right? So paid $1,000 for the hour. How hard do you think I'm listening? And absolutely, if you go on a journey of what I call the 3 A's, awareness, acceptance, and action, you'll start to notice in your bookkeeping practice, like depending on where you're at in your practice, believe it or not, the more you charge, the more valuable you're going to feel. Yeah. And we can also see this in many examples in retail, in all different things. Yeah. So if you buy a piece of silver jewelry and it costs you $20, versus if you buy a piece of Tiffany silver jewelry that costs you $500, you are going to value that a lot more than you value the cheaper product. Okay, so we could go on and on about this. The moral of the story here is that if you don't pay, you don't pay attention, which leads me into the surprise that I've got for you. And that is, I am today releasing my starter membership. So TSB starter membership stands for the Strategic Bookkeeper starter membership. So if you are not a transformation program member, so if you're not in my signature program, then the starter membership has been created for you as the ideal place to start if for whatever reason you're not ready to join my signature program, my transformation program. Now, at the time of recording this podcast, it is 9.5 months since I opened the doors to my signature program. And the Strategic Bookkeeper is going viral globally. And that is only a testament to its impact. Quite a lot of bookkeepers who join my database do join my signature program, and that is absolutely because there is nothing like my transformation program in the world. Yeah, I call it the untouchable program because nothing comes close when you see what's inside it. And it's so high value and high impact and so packed full of amazing stuff, which I just did 3 upgrades to the program, which I'm not going to go into here. But I will let you know I'm actually going to do a podcast series separate to this podcast to tell everyone about the program because there's so much in it. It's impossible to give you a one-pager or a few things. So I'm going to do that separately. So with the starter membership and the fact that I opened the doors to my program 9.5 months ago, and I published my book at the beginning of 2023. So we are just shy of a year and a half after I published my book and launched this companion podcast. And in that time, so let's say the space of just under 18 months, I've been able to watch and listen to all of the bookkeepers. So the bookkeepers in my program and the bookkeepers outside my program. And I've learned so much, and it's how I did the upgrades to the program. Okay. So how I discovered how I could help bookkeepers even more. But I'm also learning so much about the bookkeepers that are outside of my program as well. And historically, I have put out a lot of free content. So you can get my ebook, for example, from my website, and that's free. You've got this public podcast, and that's free. We ran a book club, and that was free. We've done a whole lot of, or quite a few really high value free trainings. They were all free, right? We've done, goodness gracious, we've done lots of things, and we've given them away for free. And so I've had time to look at all the bookkeepers that are not in my program and really listen to them and understand the impact of that content, okay? And if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. So I started to think about how I could help more bookkeepers. I started to look at my database and ask myself, so of all the bookkeepers who are on my database, if they haven't joined my signature program, what do they want from me? And what I know they want is for me to help them thrive in practice, thrive in their bookkeeping practice, regardless of where they're at in their journey. So for example, I heard from a lovely bookkeeper who has just started working in an accounts role. She's going to do her certificate of bookkeeping, and she has a dream in her heart of one day starting her own bookkeeping practice. She is digesting all of my content, and she wanted some recommendations, which I gave her. And then I said to her, now, after I gave her a whole lot of really great recommendations on planning and on how to digest my content and a lot of other things, I said, so then when you're at a point where you can transition into running your bookkeeping practice, join my program so that we can build a Ferrari together, rather than do what I say, which is if you start a bookkeeping practice and you get a whole lot of stuff wrong, it's like you've got a car speeding down the highway that we need to fix while it's moving, right? But if you come into the program from the beginning, then we get to build a Ferrari and you get to avoid a lot of the mistakes. And the bookkeepers in my tribe really relate to that. So whether you are a bookkeeper at that stage of your journey where it's just a dream in your heart, a dream in your heart, or whether you're a bookkeeper in practice with the car speeding down the highway, that's 80% of the bookkeepers who join my transformation program from all around the world, from every corner of the world. We've got clients all over the place. 80% of them are actually bookkeepers in practice with clients, and 20% are right at the beginning with oftentimes no clients, okay? So regardless of where you're at in your journey, I looked at you on my database and I said, this person wants me to help them thrive in practice. Now, for me, I asked myself how I could help all of the bookkeepers on my database to thrive. And one of the things I realized is that it can be hard to reach you. So primarily at the moment, in terms of my database, I can reach you in email and I can reach you on social media. Maybe I could reach you by mobile phone. Okay, so I could potentially send you a text message, but primarily the email and the social media, they're shocking ways to try and reach you. And I think you would probably agree. Like email, oh my goodness, it is one of the worst kind of things that just time sucks. And oftentimes we just have to not read emails and we don't get to read them. So if I've got something really high value for you, then trying to reach you by email or socials is just a crap way to try and reach you. Now, if I have something amazing for you and you would like me to help you thrive in practice, I know that you want to know about it, right? And then I also know if you don't pay attention. So what I've decided to do, based on everything I've just told you there, is rather than give you more free content and serve it up in a way that you may or may not ever see it or get to use it, which means I'm not going to get the opportunity to help you thrive in practice. I want to put a whole lot of incredible high value tools and resources into one place, into a starter membership that will actually be available to you to use on your mobile phone or your mobile devices as well as your computer. So in terms of reaching you and helping you, okay, you're going to have everything in this app that sits on your phone. Okay, so we use something called Kajabi technology, and Kajabi has an amazing, it's like the benchmark for educators like myself, and it has this amazing app that will sit on your phone, and you are going to be able to use that app and use your Academy access on the go, anywhere, anytime, any device, and everything's going to be in one place. You're never going to have to go into your email or your social media to look for anything, or wonder where anything is. Everything that I give you in order to help you thrive is going to be in the one place. Now, inside the starter membership, there are a range of tools and resources, including a private podcast. So you've got this public podcast and the ebook available to you free. I'm going to continue to offer up these two incredibly high value resources free of charge globally. Okay, so that is an electronic copy of my book that you can get on my website, and this podcast will remain free. Okay, but inside the starter membership, which is very low cost, okay, as at today, it is $59 US. We're opening the doors for 7 days at that price, okay? So it's highly affordable to everyone. Inside there, you'll get the private podcast. And when I publish a new private podcast just for the members of my starter membership, you will get an email notification just to let you know that there's a new podcast. Okay, so you can go into the portal on your phone or on your computer anytime, use all the tools and resources I give you at the beginning and ongoing. You can register, for example, for a monthly mastermind that I will be running just for starter membership members, and you will get notifications of new things that are going in there as well. Okay. Now, in terms of my private podcast, the content will be very high value for you. In my transformation program, I actually have a private podcast for my tribe, and there are many reasons I don't make that public. One of the reasons is it wouldn't make sense to the general public bookkeeper population, because you need to be using my way, my tools and resources in order to make sense of it. But That podcast is so popular that we have thousands and thousands of downloads of it. Okay, so I really think that this private podcast you get access to is going to be super high value. You'll also get a digital version of my book inside there so that you've always got it available. You'll get the audio files, so an audio version of my book, which is available to buy on all platforms globally if you'd rather have it in your Audible. I've even bought a copy of my own audiobook to put in my Audible because I just found it easier, but you will get the audiobook as well, okay? You will get education. So you'll think about courses and resources and tools. You will get, as I said, the exclusive invitations to my monthly masterminds where you get to hang out with me and fellow bookkeepers and level up together, okay? We're also going to give you access to our little black book, which is usually reserved exclusively for our tribe members. And that is going to have all of our industry discounts and exclusive offers. Okay, so wowza with the little black book. Now, the starter membership does come with a full money back guarantee. So if you're not entirely happy with the starter membership and you can't use it to make more than you spend on it within a year, just ask for your money back and we'll give you your money back. Now, the other thing to know is that for me, okay, so when you join my starter membership, you are actually telling me that you really, 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 really want my help. Yeah. And I take that very seriously. So the starter membership is going to give me a way to create this beautiful community of bookkeepers who tell me, Jeannie, I genuinely want your help. I'm genuinely invested in this. Okay. I'm invested enough to buy the starter membership. Okay, rather than just sit on the database and take no action. So it's actually, for me, when I was thinking about creating this starter membership, I looked at my database and I thought, what's going to be amazing is anyone that's really serious. Yeah. So anyone that's really serious about getting help to thrive in practice, but is not quite ready to join my signature program, the transformation program. When they come into the starter membership, I'm going to be able to kind of bring them in under my wing, listen to them, engage with them, and figure out how I can help them even more, okay? And that's exactly what I do in my signature program. So when I did an upgrade recently and I'm in the middle of running a 3-week business development challenge for my bookkeepers, which is going so well that I just announced another weekly coaching call specifically with me, okay? Because listening to feedback, that's really, really impactful, all right? So the bookkeepers in my program tell me that one of the most top 3 impactful things is access to me as a coach, okay? So just like I listen to my tribe members and then I change and upgrade and modify the transformation program, I'll be listening to all of you in my starter membership and I will be making additions and creating content and directing the masterminds and creating special events for you in order to give you what you tell me you need, okay? So you can expect the starter membership to evolve over time, yeah, for the members that are in there that are telling me, Jeannie, we really want your help, okay? So this is another way for me, in effect, I hate this term, but it's a way for me to segment my database into those of you that are really, really serious and those of you that are not so serious, yeah? So I'm going to bring this podcast episode to an end. I feel like I could go on and on because the starter membership is something I'm really passionate about, okay? It's something that has evolved and been created off the back of me learning in order to help more people, okay? So just to rinse and repeat, the starter membership is open to join for 7 days from the 16th of May 2024 for $59 US, okay? So there will be links in the show notes where you can click and you can join the starter membership. If you need to, you can reach out and ask me questions. Please do remember it comes with a money back guarantee. And so there's no reason not to just jump in and join. I can't wait to see the members of the starter membership. because absolutely, I can't wait to meet you and to see that you're serious. So I can't wait to find out who's really serious. And I said to the bookkeeper who reached out to me recently, the one that I was saying has started a new accounts job and she's going to do a certificate, I said, when we release the starter membership, join. Yeah, because again, you're telling me I'm serious and I really want help. Okay, so I cannot wait to find out who's really serious about letting me help them thrive in practice. So I hope to see you in the starter membership soon. Okay, my friend, now it is time to take action. So, what are you going to do with what you learned today? The way I see it, you've got two options. You can go it alone to try and save some money, or you can back yourself and go for it and join my tribe. And let me tell you, we are knocking it out of the ballpark. That's not a sales pitch. That is me serving you, dare I say, courageously. To find success, I 100% know you need the mechanics, which is like the keys to the kingdom, but you also need to get your mindset right and be super productive. And these are all things I help you with inside the program. I could go on about this forever because I really want this for you. Have a prosperous week, and I'll see you in the next episode.